Kenya and the US are allies. But Kenya and Pilato as its president is hosting Hamdan Dagalo, someone sanctioned by the US because of the genocide that happened in Sudan. In simple terms, your president is brewing a diplomatic fight, an Ivisha, and trust you me, before they get to him, they will get to your country first. Free advice. I'm very sure, 80% sure, that the Kenyan president is not paramilitary trained. So if something ever happened, Hamdan would survive if it did involve paramilitary training. He's your buddy now. Ask him to train you. Because before the US shakes Pilato, it will shake Kenya. Trust you me. Siyo sekta ya paramilitary peke yake. Even economically. You heard me. Lakini Pilato wa usikubali zishuke. We haribuka. You see, I used to read these things from declassified CIA files. Now, it's happening in my country. You know, it's just a nose. Deep down, it's a hive. It's a big thing that we can't see happening right now. Ile siku itabust. Tutalia gunpowder.
Do you see the guy in the middle of this photo? The one with his fist raised. His name is Abdul Rahim Dagalo. He's the deputy leader of the Rapid Support Forces, the paramilitary group accused of committing genocide in Sudan. The guy in the portrait above him is William Ruto, Kenya's president. This photo was taken on Tuesday, 18th February, at the state-owned Kenyatta International Convention Center in Nairobi. While Sudan burns, Kenya's ruling elite rolled out the red carpet for the warlords accused of genocide. This RSF event marked an early step in RSF's move towards establishing its own breakaway government. How now? The RSF's crimes are well documented. Just last month, nearly 500 people, including infants, were butchered in White Nile State. 2 years ago, in 2023, RSF killed more than 15,000 Sudanese from the ethnically African Masalit community. Years earlier, between 2003 and 2008, RSF, known back then as Janjaweed Militia, was accused of the death of more than 300 ethnically African Sudanese in Darfur. So why will Kenya's ruling elite align with a group committing war crimes? One word: gold. The RSF isn't just a militia, it's a gold empire. Sudan is Africa's third largest gold producer, and the RSF controls the country's richest gold mines. In 2022 alone, Sudan exported over 2 billion worth of gold, much of it smuggled out of the country through illicit networks. And guess who are amongst the biggest beneficiaries of this dirty trade? The United Arab Emirates. It seems that Kenya's ruling elite now want a cut of this blood gold. Kenya's corrupt ruling elite must know that hosting warlords accused of genocide at a state-owned venue is not diplomacy, it is complicity. So what can we do? We must speak up. More specifically, all African countries must implement policies banning diplomatic, political, social, and economic ties with militias and nations accused of genocide, whether directly or indirectly. Presidents who facilitate such affiliation must be exposed and held accountable.
Kenya's President William Ruto, the man at the helm, is tangled in whispers of a dark alliance with the Sudan's Rapid Support Forces, the RSF. Is this a tale of profit over principles? Let's dive in it. Over in Sudan, the RSF, led by General Hemedti, is tearing the country apart. Born from the blood-soaked Janjaweed militias, they are locked in a savage war with the Sudanese army since 2023. Rapes, massacres, looted towns. This is their legacy. But they are not just fighters, they are god lords, controlling Sudan's richest mines, and that's where Kenya comes in. January 2023, Ruto rolls out the red carpet for Hemedti himself, a warm welcome for a warlord. Sudan's army fumed, recalling their ambassador. But this was just the beginning. Fast forward to yesterday, February 18th, 2025, the RSF sets up shop at KICC in Nairobi, Kenya. Rahim Dagalo, Hemedti's brother, launches a shadow government for Sudan. And Sudan, they are not just mad, they are livid. Sudan's government didn't mince words. They condemned the Nairobi meeting as a declaration of hostility, accusing President Ruto of endorsing genocide. They say he broke a promise made to their foreign minister to keep the RSF off Kenya's soil. Here is the dirty secret. Emirati planes stuffed with arms and gold for the RSF reportedly glide through Kenya's skies. Smuggled blood gold from Sudan's mine could be washing up in Nairobi straight into Ruto's pockets, and not for the Kenyan people. Billions in gold, UAE cash, Ruto's allegedly cashing in big. At home, Ruto's battling unrest, protests, corruption cries, you name it. But backing the RSF is a power move. If they win in Sudan, Kenya's got a stake in the game. Plus, it keeps the headlines off his troubles. Sudan's condemnation be damned. And the UAE, they are bankrolling RSF and maybe Ruto too. Airspace access for infrastructure deals. It's a win-win situation for some, but for others, it's just a losing game. But the world's watching. The US, our shiny new NATO ally badge in hand, isn't thrilled. Sudan's condemnation has cut ties deeper. Their foreign ministry raging about Kenya's terrorist embrace, Kenya's peacemaker crown. It's sleeping. From Congo's coltan to Sudan's gold, Ruto's playing a dangerous game. Is he a mediator or a profiteer? Time will tell. Today, February 19, 2025, Sudan's fiery condemnation of the RSF's Nairobi foothold says it all. Ruto's gain, gold, power, destruction might cost Kenya its soul. So, what's the truth? A leader lifting his nation or a man selling peace for profits for himself? You decide.
So, you ask yourself, when did the rain start beating us? And that's why I say our problem as a country started when William Ruto has put his personal interest over national interest. And I've told you in particular, in the SADC region, what is the interest of Kenya being perceived as supporting the rebel movement in DRC? And more so, when they were hosted here in Kenya and they launched the onslaught, they launched their movement here in Nairobi.
This is for entertainment purposes only. So now, Kenyans are shocked to see Nabi allow a rebel nene from Sudan, RSF, to actually come to KICC and set up a parallel government. And guess what? The Alphabet Boys knew about this a month ago. This is probably one of the reasons why Baba was rejected. Another reason why Baba was rejected. But I'm telling you, family, Nabi isn't just operating on his own. He's under someone. And I actually think Meggy is his handler, and the Alphabet Boys who installed him into power are the ones giving him instructions. Because then they're being chased away. They're trying to find strongholds. Don't you remember Meggy bringing the arms dealer from the divided states and stuff, and they took pictures?
This man, William Ruto, has never fought for anything in this country. He has never fought for freedom. He has never fought for liberation. He did not fight for the constitution. He did not fight for the second liberation. He did not fight for multi-party democracy. He has absolutely no moral authority to lecture anyone about anything.
My people, Kenya has set a parallel government in Sudan. It happened yesterday in Nairobi. I remember talking about this a day before the AU election. And I love the spirit that Kenyans had at the comment section. The PhD of Matusi you usually hold. I saw the leaders of Sudan thanking your president yesterday for the donation. And talking of RSF, hey, the paramilitary raid that is holding Kiza Besenji at the moment. Kenyans, you are heading to the worst direction. And I'm even not afraid to talk about it because I saw it coming. Yes, the RSF are the one holding Kiza Besenji. And you expected to get the AU seat? As who now? Excuse you. Anyway, let me remind you. Your president is everywhere. He is everywhere. Starting from Congo. He was there. Hakuna penye yeye ako na urafiki. Sasa Kenya imekuwa kama America. It's giving aid and having calls to whoever who understand what Sudan means. The paramilitary raid really understand what I'm talking about. You will remember this page together with the KK regime that is on board. I'm telling you for free. More is coming. Anyway, Aluta. Continue.
As I'm reading, this very weird story here, that what Kenya did yesterday has been termed by Sudan government as an act of hostility. That is, Kenya calls out Sudan calls out Kenya for hosting RSF forces. This is what they're saying. The Sudan government has condemned Kenya for hosting the paramilitary group Rapid Support Forces, terming it a blatant disregard for its obligation under international law. The RSF forces, a group fighting against the Sudanese army for power, held an event in Nairobi, of course, yesterday. In a statement, Sudan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs warned that such a move demembers the African state and violates its sovereignty by interfering in its internal affairs, which is very true. The Sudan government blamed RSF for the ongoing act of war in the country and noted that Kenya rolling the red carpet for RSF forces to conduct its operation is an act of endorsement of the heinous crimes the group reportedly commits, hosting leaders of the terrorist RSF militia and allowing them to conduct political and propaganda activities while they continue to perpetrate genocide, massacre of civilians on an ethnic basis, attack IDF camps, and commit acts of rape, constitute endorsement of and complicity in these heinous crimes, the ministry stated. The Sudan government warned its Kenyan government for violating bilateral relations and contravening the pledges the country made not to allow hostile activities against Sudan to be carried out on its soil. All right. The conflict ensued after Sudan's de facto ruler General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan fell out with his deputy turned rival Mohamed Dagalo, who leads the RSF. Now, in short, Kenya is in a diplomatic war. That's how it begins. Before long, it will generate into now probably the Sudan government entering Kenya trying to fight the militia. Kenya has always been a beacon of peace in Africa and a place where anyone who wanted to run away to a peaceful place will come. What is Ruto turning it into be? This is something that is not going on well. It's not going to end well for us as a country.
Huyu ni Ruto, huyu ni Raila. Kwa ballot 2027. Hiyo ni kama umeambia mtu 1+1 ni ngapi? Ruto taiba Raila tena. Ele nipigie Ruto. Hiyo ni ukuni ni. Nini iko hapo? Juu nini itafanya sasa, uzuri gani yenye Raila sasa atafanya ati sasa Raila apigiwe kura? Mbafu nyinyi. Raila usisimame.
Good morning, guys. If this is not the plan of William Ruto in 2027, then I have no idea why he is supporting mercenaries and rebels in a neighboring country.
So when M23 are coming to Nairobi to come and have a meeting here with our president, the simple fact that they came here put everybody onto suspicion mode.
Just a minute, Senator Onyonka. There is a point of order from Senator Mandago.
Honorable Speaker, I've heard Senator Onyonga say M23 are coming to Nairobi. I don't know whether it's confusing.
I said when they came. I said when they came. I know you don't. When they came, M23 came to Nairobi, met our president, they launched themselves here. What did you expect President Kagame to do? What did you expect him to do? When information is coming out that all these groups are meeting around Nairobi and we are not careful.
يجي زي الرئيس الكيني يقول أنا أجيب قوات شرق أفريقيا. يا الرئيس الكيني قوات شرق أفريقيا خليها في محلها. أنت جيب الجيش الكيني تعال. والدولة الدعمات والدعم كل المرتزقة الزينة الدعمات بالقرش مشتريات بالقرش في ذات تجيب جيشها. والله غصب واحد فيهم بيرجع ثاني ما في بيرجع. نحن يا اخوانا طريقنا واحد سودان يشرق عليه الشمس يوم باكر ولا جنجويد.
We are spending only 1% of our GDP on the military. And yet we are seeing guns pointed at Kenya from all corners. We are seeing drones pointed at Kenya from all corners. Mr. Speaker, the war in Syria has confirmed that your enemy does not need to be your neighbor. That Turkey can hammer Syria from wherever they are. That even Kenya can be hammered from Yemen. Kenya can be hammered from the UAE. This is a time for us to ask ourselves, is our military getting the right budgetary allocation? And are they making the right decisions with those budgets? Mr. Speaker, every time we go for a public holiday, we see those jets flying past. And to be honest, Mr. Speaker, since I was a little child, it is the same jets I've been seeing flying past. I wonder if there was a serious strife or any battle between Kenya and a neighboring state, whether those jets will be airworthy or whether they'll be able to go and attack the enemy. We must have that conversation. This idea of saying that the military is a closed black box that we cannot talk about, if we have a weak military, no one is going to give us respect. You have seen instances where, in the old saying, that the tail can wag a dog. You are seeing a tiny country, and I'm not going to mention names, a tiny country being able to ambush, attack, invade, and overthrow the president of another country which is 100 times its size. Mr. Speaker, this is a conversation we must have.
Sudan Rapid Forces allowed in the country, our own country, to come and plan how they are going to overthrow their government back at home. Hiyo sio mistake ya Kenya, hiyo ni mistake ya William Ruto. Unajua, hii kupanga sana ya William Ruto, amefika mahali amejiachilia sasa. Now he's ready, he's not living calculatively. He has given himself now to error. You know, whatever happens. Sasa hapo ndio amefika. Juu hii kupanga yake yote, tangu akuwe president, yote ina gonga mwamba. Everything he's planning has been backfiring on him since he killed the Gen Zs. Unaona? So, this mistake should not be crucified on Kenyans. It is a William Ruto's mistake. It is a diplomatic problem, not only with Sudan, but other African countries and other, countries like US and, tuko pabaya because of William Ruto. But one thing we must continually say is that he makosa si ya Kenya mzima. Hii ni makosa ya William Ruto. We must allow William Ruto to carry his own cross, and so we must publicly we must declare that this is not our crime, it is not our mistake. So we should not be crucified for William Ruto's mistake. Na hiyo kitu amefanya, that what he has done, that one will cost him big time. Hiyo haya, wacha tu tuone.
My good brother. Welcome to your other home. Thank you very much. Again, welcome to Nairobi.
Kimbia.
He's also very happy for the reception.
Yes. So I'm very happy to receive you again in Nairobi. I know this is not your first time.
Southern part of Africa, East Africa, and probably the whole of Africa gave a vote of no confidence in Kenya just the other day in the AUC elections. And now Kenya is providing their convention center for RSF, Rapid Support Forces from Sudan, to form a parallel government in Kenya. That actually violates UN Charter, violates what's in the African Union Constitution. Just the other day also, the opposition leader of Uganda, Kizza Besigye, was abducted in Kenya. Maria Sarungi, who is also an activist from Tanzania seeking asylum in Kenya, was also abducted. 4 Turkey refugees who were in Kenya also seeking asylum, they were deported back to Turkey. That Ankara had requested an extradition, so they were taken. And this is against the policy, because these were refugees and there was fear of them going back to their country and then they'll be persecuted in their country. So is Kenyan foreign policy in the pit, or I just don't understand things? Like, what's wrong with Kenya? What's wrong with Kenya?
This is the latest from the ongoing crisis in Sudan. The Emergency Lawyers Network says more than 200 unarmed civilians have been killed in various villages in Sudan over 3 days by the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. The Emergency Lawyers Network is a group that monitors human rights violations in Sudan. They provide legal help to families of activists and protesters who have been killed, tortured, or arrested by security forces. The network is accusing RSF of carrying out executions, enforced disappearances, looting, and kidnappings. Some high-ranking members of the RSF are meeting in Nairobi, Kenya, where they are expected to announce plans to form their government in areas under their control.
Hello everyone, my name is Bismillah Muhammad. I am the Organization Secretary at Marginalized Youth Congregation UK. And today we are here at the Convention Center in Nairobi, Kenya, to talk about forming a new Sudanese government under Hemeti general. Why? Well, because we want peace for the innocent civilians in Sudan. We want everyone to be included, all Sudanese from all different regions of Sudan, regardless of their tribal affiliation. That is the new government that we want to form. Peace, everyone's included, and also there is equal opportunity.
The International Rescue Committee says the war in Sudan has created extreme levels of displacement,
both internally and across Sudan's borders. More than 11.4 million people are now displaced internally in Sudan, and over 3 million, mostly women and children, have fled to neighboring countries. Here's a quick update on the ongoing crisis in Sudan. Tensions are escalating between Kenya and Sudan following a controversial meeting in Nairobi. Sudan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has condemned Kenya for hosting a political agreement involving the Rapid Support Forces, also known as the RSF, whom Sudan accuses of genocide and war crimes. Sudan claims this meeting is an attempt to create a parallel government on its territory, violating international law and threatening the Sudanese sovereignty. Sudan's government says its armed forces will reclaim every inch of its land, dismissing the agreement as a propaganda stunt. Sudan is now calling on the international community to condemn Kenya's involvement, labeling it an act of hostility against the Sudanese people.
Kenya is under fire for hosting Sudan rebels, and the US probes Nigeria's use of aid. These are your top stories for today. Sudan has condemned Kenya for hosting a political event linked to the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF. It says President William Ruto's government is interfering in Sudan's internal affairs. Tensions between the two countries are rising as the RSF plans to announce a parallel government in Nairobi on Friday. The RSF is fighting the army in Sudan. How will Kenya handle the fallout?
We mzee, unasikia aje ati watu wa Sudan, ile Sudan yenyewe sasa sio South Sudan Usikisa hiyo mbogi imejam na sisi, na wanajam na sisi kwa sababu wanasema ati president wetu anaingilia vitu zenye zina happen huko hivyo Sudan. For example, jana hapa hivi Kenya pale KICC kuna event fulani ilikuwa ina happen huko ikiwa inaongozwa na bazenga anaitwa Abdul. Na Abdul ana head jeshi inaitwa Rapid Support Forces. Sasa hiyo mbogi kitu wanajaribu kufanya ni kuoverthrow government hiyo mtaa. So wamekuwa wakipigana Sudanese army. Na jana sasa walikuwa wamekaa Kenya kusign political agreement ya vile wataendelea kupiga mashughuli hiyo pande huko hivyo wapi Sudan. Sasa watu wa Sudan wanakasirika kwa sababu hii organization one inataka kuoverthrow government. Na two wanajam na Kenya because mbona hii kitu ya kutaka kusign hii political agreement hawange sign any place. So wamejam na president wetu kwa sababu ati ha respect mambo za international law, za kukataa kumeddle na affairs za countries zingine na za kukataa kuingilia na shughuli za mtaa zingine, because hii statement yenye imetolewa na watu wa Sudan, Minister of Foreign Affairs ndiye amerelease. Na anasema that imbogi ilipatana Kenya huko KICC huku hivi kwetu inaendelea kufanya massacre ya wase based on ethnicity. Inaendelea bado ku-attack ID camps za watu. Na sasa amini usiamini waki-attack ID camps za wase, usikisa ama bazenga mazee kidogo ni kama wanashuka na hao watoi mazee. Na unajua ni watoi wanawapiga ile the R word, acha sasa isema but naelewa sababu ya TikTok hapa hivi. So they are calling on international community, that is the African Union and the United Nations, come through na kuambia president wetu sasa that aache kuingililia mashughuli zenye zina happen hiyo mtaa yao. Like so get Kenya's involvement place inakuja na mbona wanajam. Juu hata sisi kama Kenya niko sure tungejam, ingekuwa sasa ati wasenye wanataka kuoverthrow government sasa ya Ruto ati wanaenda kupatana huko hivyo. So tungejam juu watu ndio wakuje Kenya, most likely walitafuta ma places zingine zenye wanaweza meet. So ngori ya Sudan ni why Kenya, and why does it appear that your president anaback rebels wenye wanataka kuondoa ile yenye iko Kenya? Na ujue sasa pia president wetu amekuwa kwa mangori because hata watu wa Rwanda na huko hivyo pande za Goma, watu wa Rwanda na like watu wa Goma, achani wapati ya Rwanda si important. Watu wa Goma imekuanga pia wanasema that president wetu vile ana meddle na hizi affairs. Hata kuna story yenye watu wa SADC inaweza kuwa walikosa kuvotia Kenya sababu ya ile involvement yenye ina happen ya Kenya kumeddle na affairs za Goma. But sasa mimi niko zile za president wetu ni mtu wa EAC, like tumeshampatiana anaweza piga shughuli za EAC. So niko zile za Sudan unaweza waelewa mbona wanajam president akihost hawa watu, but on affairs kama za Goma okay, hebu tuseme wewe unaona president wetu, president ako sawa ama president ako na ngori? Like Sudan iko sawa kumpiga lecture ama president angefanya tu hivyo?
The president of this country, Mr. Ruto, is not playing with fire. He's creating a firestorm. He's dilly-dallying with people who are being taken to the International Criminal Court. He's dilly-dallying with a person whom has been roundly criticized for massive human rights abuse in Sudan. The head of the RCF is a criminal in the Sudan conflict. There's no question about that in any mind that sees what's happening in Sudan today. And that does not mean that people are supporting General Burhan. I mean, both these fellows are the ones who staged a coup d'etat in Sudan. And it was unique because, you know, Mr. Burhan displaced his own prime minister, who was elected to be part of the political system to transition into civilian rule. And one morning, Mr. Burhan woke up and overthrew his prime minister. And then Mr. Burhan is the person who trained Mr. Hemeti. He's the one who, remember the Janjaweed? Yes. Where there was just thousands upon thousands of people who were killed. These men have their hands in a situation that is just the largest humanitarian crisis in the world. There's never been such a humanitarian crisis like the one in Sudan. Kenya, if I can finish up with this, has brought people from Angola here. I think my senior, Mr. Noah Midamba, will remind you when the Angolan problem with Savimbi, the one from the DRC, our foreign affairs has brought people to Nairobi to bring them together. It's outrageous for them to come here and declare a parallel government that nobody else is in it. The sovereignty of the people of Sudan is expressed in their instruments of sovereignty in the United Nations. The president of Sudan, recognized by the international community, is Ms. General Burhan. Whether he came on a military court or not, that's who people recognize. Now, I think that Mr. Ruto's failure in foreign affairs is just too clear, because he took our former prime minister to the AU, and as I predicted it here, it was going to fail, and all of Kenya thought that I was a bit mad, and it has come to pass that he didn't pass through the AU, and that's a blunder of Mr. Ruto, not Mr. Odinga. He should have never been taken for that contest, because he's bigger than that. The second thing is, I think that it's going to bring international focus to Kenya. All right. And I think this is just a terrible move for our government.
Okay. Guys. Someone help me to understand this, because Kenya is a diplomatic country. And for one, now we are from no vetting to now a parallel government of Sudan, which I don't understand why you should not consider security. You should not consider the innocent people who do not understand about war and the future of us and generation of Kenyans. Because hakuna venye unaweza niambia you can hold a parallel government, because Ruto have accepted to host a paramilitary rapid support force, RSF, which they are preparing to launch a parallel government in Nairobi on Friday. Naruto ako sawa na hiyo, but now you see the leader of RSF mwenye ako Sudan, Mohamed, he slings back to Kenya for violating diplomatic assurance by allowing RSF to hold meeting. Leader wa Sudan ashazusha, anasema tumeallow kuviolate diplomatic, because hata mimi si understand how could you allow a parallel government ifanyiwe Kenya. Even you, Ruto, when you wanted a president, au kwenda Uganda ama Tanzania and convincing us Kenya you want to be a president, ulikuwa huko. So wanafaa wafanye hizi vitu zao kwao. I don't know what you are gaining, but hata kama ni business, we have a life to live. Leave us alone.
Enda pole pole. Cool down. We are not cooling down any soon. In fact, it might get hotter.
We will consolidate Kisungu kubwa. And after we consolidate, we will strategize.
Here I come. Here I come.
Hey! Whoa, 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 hey.
Hello.
And don't buy into the political rhetoric of trying to divide you into tribes.
Yes.
Our problems are not tribal. There is no Kikuyu problem, there is no Kalenjin problem, there is no Luo problem, there is no Somali problem. There is no Kamba problem.
Yes.
Chief share knows no tribe. The university funding model knows no tribe.
Yeah.
Joblessness knows no tribe. All these problems that we point out, they do not know any tribe.
Kusambaza hiyo message. Thank you. Fagia
What?
I'll take it to all the corners. You take it to the entire nation. Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
It is a very solid car.
Thank you, sir.
Ndugu yangu,
God bless you.
fagia wote.
Kazi yangu.
Asante. Good luck, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
God bless
Good luck.
you. I appreciate
All the
it.
best.
Thank you, sir. It's time for a fresh start. Tunafagia wote. Your Excellency.
Aya, alafu matopare. Okay, matopare. Matopare. Topa. Matopare. Matopare. Topa.
Tuesday. Tunarudi uwanjani.
She asked me, baby, where you from? I told her, Kenya.
I beg of us, I really want to beg of us today, as the chair of UDA, let's stay focused to what it is we promise those hustlers. Because if we don't deliver, those hustlers will send us out of power, and they'll send us with vengeance. So let us talk about roads, electricity, education, health, types. Let's tone down on the politics. It is not healthy. It is not healthy. It is the wrong time.
Kuna nchi inaweza sikia kuchukua William Ruto. Wanaweza mchukua kwa sababu sisi wananchi, we don't need him. Ametuchosha. Ama nyinyi mjachoka? Mjachoka na Ruto? Ule mtu anataka kuchukua William Ruto, you can take him for free, take Wetangula for free, take Mudavadi for free. Tunawapea hizo takataka zote waende waongoze if they are good to you.
Majenzi mko, kazi mnafanya kwa mtandao ni mzuri sana na tunapongeza nyinyi na muendelee. Mtaendelea. Lakini mtandao peke yake haitoshi. Tunataka mjiandikishe kama wapiga kura. Wale watu ambaye watakomboa Kenya hii, wenye kuamua Kenya itaongozwa namna gani, ni hao majenzi wetu mwaka wa 2027. Lakini hamwezi amua Kenya itakaa namna gani kwa simu peke yake. Lazima mchukue vitambulisho, lazima mjiandikishe kama wapiga kura. Siku hiyo ikifika, muamuke saa 9, muungane na sisi na wengine, tuende pale kwa debe, tutafute uongozi wa maana ambaye utaheshimu wa Kenya, utaheshimu demokrasia na utakubali kufanyia kila mtu maendeleo. Tumekubaliana majenzi?
Hata nasahau tarehe ni gani. Mimi siko na tarehe kwa kalenda. Na mimi hata sina haja nayo. Mimi chenye niko nayo ni serikali ya 2027. Huyu mkata ushuru tumtoe. Na tuungane si wote.
Meta vile naona nisha reject tu hiyo finance bill 2025. Ningoje tu date ya maandamano. Juu mambo yendi bana. Mimi hata wafanye nini? Mimi nisha reject. Mufanye nini? Nisha reject. Mufanye nisha reject. Nime reject. Mtoe date ya maandamano sasa bana.
And we are not alone. There's a new force of nature at hand, stirring all over the world. They are the young people whom, frankly, we have failed, who are angry, who are organized, who are capable of making a difference. They are a moral army. And the most important thing that we can do for them is to get the hell out of their way.
Kwanza mimi ikifika 2027 naiba mpaka kura ya madhangu na budangu. Sitaki warudi tu huko tena. Sima youth church anuka. Madha zetu bado Ruto unaenda home na 13 parliament tunaivunja. Wende home wote tuanze fresh.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm here to address you. You must go. Ruto must go. Kwapa na hatuendi. Kwapa tunalala huku na hatuendi. We don't fear you guys. You hypocrites. We don't fear you. Mr. Speaker, we don't fear you. Tuko ndani. We stomped inside. Sisi ni nani? I'm inside. Niko ndani. Na tunamalizana na nyinyi. Tunamalizana na nyinyi. Mmetutesa sana. Today is today. You must hear our cry. Sisi ni sisi. Mtatusikiza. Hii ni bunge yetu. Sisi tumewafanya mkuu hapa. This is our parliament. You must hear us. Kama hamna masikio, tutawafanya msikie. Poa manze.
Shan nini? President tunataka kuambia uko na miaka 2 katika ofisi. Na hawa wananchi hawa they will punish you na hata ukiwa na pesa watakutoa nje.
Wacheni tu mimi niseme na mapema. Ndio kama kuna list na andiko mniweke kwa list. I can't wait to reject Finance Bill 2025. I can't wait because I know it will be something absurd. It will be something mental. I can't wait. Mneke kwa list jameni. List reject.
Idiots who don't want to participate in the affairs of their nation, they think things will just work in and of themselves. Then they are tribalists. And these tribalists, they think that they are only safe with people who are from their tribe. And tribe can mean people from the same culture, same language, or same culture. Then they are citizens. These are individuals who are responsible and know that when you want to be served, you must give those who have the desire and the intellectual capacity to serve you. In many societies, it is only a small percentage of people that can be called citizens, not more than 5%. And if a society wants to grow in the right direction, civic education is what will help the idiot and the tribalist to become a citizen.
Mungu yetu itoe Ruto Kenya, hata kama angalau na jali. Sisi Kenya tumechoka na Ruto, maisha imetuharibikia, analipisha mpaka sodo ya wamama. Pure kabisa Ruto. We don't like you, go home. Sasa tafuta kiongozi ambaye anapenda mwananchi na anapenda kijana kama sisi.
They want to be described as honorable even when they are horrible. They acquire things which they have not worked for. They promise us things that they know they will never deliver. And there is no shortage of such men and women in the African continent.
Now, why do you want Ruto gone?
We want Ruto gone because he is killing innocent people. He's wanting to pass the Finance Bill 2024. He's putting tax on sanitary products that girls can't even buy. He can't go to school. He's corrupt. He's taking the money. He needs to go.
Yes.
Get out. If you're going to raise anything, start with your hairline.
Nice.
Control, Alt, Delete, Ruto. The drunk did better than you. Drunkard did better than you.
Nice.
Now the next election,
yes.
Unajua hawa ndio watakuwa nasema fagia wote ama mtasema namna gani? This generation,
yes,
they use their might because they didn't vote. The largest vote in the last election.
Hi
Hi Kenyans, mi sina maneno mingi. All I want to say is Ruto must go, like yesterday. Bye.